Hoosiers are being asked whether they support an amendment to the state constitution requiring the General Assembly to adopt balanced budgets. Now, that's unless 2/3 of the members of both chambers vote to suspend the requirement. Public question number 1 is on the ballot this year. Now, it was first proposed by Vice President Mike Pence when he was Indiana's governor. With us is Justin Ross, a professor at the School of Public and Environmental Affairs at Indiana University, to help explain the proposal. So, Justin, thank you for being here. Did I describe that accurately?
That's right.
Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, well, the act requires the state legislature enact a balanced budget over the 2-year cycles. It provides some general guidance on what counts as income to the state, what counts as an expense to the state, and what is appropriate for bringing those two into line.
So if it passes, what could it change or do to state government?
Well, it'll require some effort in terms of knowing how proposals are going to score under the balanced budget amendment in terms of how it impacts those defined revenues and costs. Since the act focuses on balancing general revenues with ordinary expenses, you might expect the legislature to try and do more in special funds and irregular costs.
So former Governor Mike Pence, as I said, and many lawmakers actually support this change. What are some of the positives that could come from this?
Well, the state legislature is already pretty good at balancing the budget and has done so for many years. And it does that because it has good norms. And I think that many have raised the concern that norms and political civility are eroding, and that might help to have some more formal rules that might protect us should those norms start to fail us.
Of course, there are those that are against this proposal too. So what are some of the negatives that could bring to the state government?
Well, for the time being, it's a solution in search of a problem, right? And we know from the experiences of other states that just because you have a balanced budget amendment, that doesn't mean you're going to make wise decisions. And there are plenty of states that have problems with fiscal sustainability that have no trouble complying with their balanced budget amendments.
So is the language in Public Question 1, is that a good way to think about a budget when you think about the size of Indiana's budget, how big it is?
Yeah, this act does pretty well in terms of defining revenues and expenses and that. What it does do is it is just looking at a part of the budget by focusing on general fund revenues as opposed to all the other funds and parts of government that exist in the budget process.
So maybe just a quick tip for voters as they go to the polls, what's something that maybe they should think about before they go vote on this Public Question number 1?
Well, one way to maybe make it a little bit personal would be to think in terms of a household budget. A way to think about this would be you have a very easy way of understanding what it means to live within your means. But what if there was a rule that defined what that was supposed to mean, and then you would be forced to write down, like, well, what can you count as income, what can you count as expenses? And that might cause you to do things you otherwise wouldn't do just to be in compliance with the rule rather than necessarily helping you live within your means.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.